Have you ever asked yourself why you keep losing? Not in a loud, public way, but in that slow, quiet erosion. The job that never sees you, the girl who loves the one who doesn't care, the friend who drains you then disappears. And you keep being good, kind, predictable, fair. Machiavelli would say this: "You've been trained to die politely." He saw it 5 centuries ago. The world doesn't reward virtue, it rewards advantage. And advantage doesn't come from fairness, it comes from leverage. You were taught that goodness is power, that if you keep your head down, stay humble, play fair, life will recognize your efforts. But Machiavelli writes with a knife in his hand. A man who wishes to make a vocation of being good at all times will come to ruin among so many who are not good. He's not being cruel, he's being clear. Because the world doesn't meet you with justice, it meets you with appetite, with strategy, with masks. And the more honest you are, the more exposed you become. You're not losing because you're unworthy. You're losing because you're visible, because you think fairness is a shield, when it's actually a signal. It tells the wolves you're not one of them, that you'll hesitate, that you'll wait your turn, that you'll swallow what you really want, just to avoid making noise. And so they pick you clean. Machiavelli didn't believe in fairness. He believed in results, in knowing how the game is actually played, not how you wish it were. If you still think the rules protect you, then you haven't understood the room you're standing in. So the question becomes, how long will you keep showing up unarmed? In the next part, we'll look deeper at why playing fair isn't just ineffective, it's dangerous. Because in a world run by perception, hesitation becomes your downfall, and your silence becomes someone else's weapon. Get ready, because if you want to live, you have to stop asking for permission. Fairness is marketed to you like a virtue, but in Machiavelli's world, and in yours, whether you know it or not, fairness is a pattern, and patterns are what the powerful feed on. When you're fair, you're legible. You follow the rules. You wait your turn. You think reciprocity is a law of nature, not a fragile contract that breaks the moment someone else sees an opening. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. And here's the hidden danger. When you play fair, you broadcast who you are. You become transparent, predictable, manipulable. They know you'll say yes. They know you'll be patient. They know you'll explain yourself. They know you'll walk away instead of retaliating. That's not moral strength. That's strategic vulnerability." The men Machiavelli admired weren't good. They were effective. They didn't play fair. They played real. They studied men not as saints, but as animals. Reactive, impulsive, scared, hungry. They won because they were willing to see the world as it is, not as they hoped it would be. And now you're here, still believing you'll be rewarded for playing by rules that no one else is following. Every time you wait to be chosen, every time you offer without leverage, every time you believe that effort equals outcome, you reinforce your own disposability. Because the truth is, in any room, someone is playing chess and someone else is playing nice. You already know who wins. Machiavelli saw that mercy, honesty, and loyalty are not default virtues. They are tools to be wielded only when they offer return, and withheld when they don't. So ask yourself, how many moves ahead are you playing? Or are you still handing out pieces and calling it kindness? In the next part, we go deeper into the architecture of this illusion. And we look at the psychological cost you're paying for your devotion to fairness. Not just what it costs you socially, but what it's already taken from your identity, from your confidence, from your time. You think you're being good, but really you've just been domesticated. There's something you haven't realized yet. Playing fair isn't just making you lose, it's making you hollow. Machiavelli understood this long before you ever showed up to your job interview, smiled through a betrayal, or waited politely to be noticed. He saw it in rulers, men with entire cities at their feet, still shackled by the fear of not appearing good. Because appearing good is what weak men cling to when they've forgotten how to be dangerous. You think fairness is a virtue, but it's become your performance costume. A mask you've worn so long that you now believe it's your face. You perform goodness, hoping it will buy you peace. You perform empathy, hoping it will be returned. You perform humility, hoping they'll notice how selfless you are. And in that desperate exchange, you sacrifice the only thing that ever gave you power: your ability to move without needing permission. Machiavelli didn't write about morality. He wrote about utility. And here's what that means for you now. If your decency doesn't give you leverage, it's not a virtue. It's bait. And you're the one bleeding on the hook. Every time you swallow resentment for the sake of keeping things smooth, every time you silence yourself to protect someone else's comfort, every time you choose fairness over truth, you abandon yourself. Not because you're kind, but because you're afraid. This is what Machiavelli knew. People don't fear the good man. They use him. But they fear the man who doesn't need to be seen as good. You're not drained because life is unfair. You're drained because you keep paying energy into an image that no longer serves you. And they see it. Your boss, your partner, your friends. They know you'll play fair. They know you'll keep showing up with your hands open. And that's why they never offer theirs. In the next part, we expose how this moral self-sacrifice turns you into prey. Not metaphorically, but structurally. Because the systems you're in were built to reward the ones who never even considered playing fair. Let's stop pretending. You weren't accidentally overlooked. You weren't unlucky when she lost interest. You weren't just being polite when he walked all over you. No. You were predictable. And predictable is the easiest thing in the world to devour. Machiavelli warned that those in power don't win because they are good. They win because they understand the rules beneath the rules. The game you're playing, the one where effort equals reward, where decency earns loyalty, where truth is enough, that game doesn't exist. Not in politics, not in business, not in love. There is only one real game. Power rewards boldness. Systems reward asymmetry. People reward what they can't quite control. You think your integrity will be recognized? That your fairness will one day be paid back? Open your eyes. You're not in a meritocracy. You're in a theater. And everyone else is playing to win, not to look like a good person. This is why Machiavelli wrote The Prince not as a guide for saints, but as a manual for those ready to understand how the world really works. He didn't say, be cruel. He said, understand when cruelty is necessary. He didn't say, lie constantly. He said, learn when the truth is a liability. Meanwhile, you told the truth when silence would have protected you. You kept giving chances when the first betrayal should have been the last. You acted with restraint, while they studied where to cut you deepest. And now you wonder why you're exhausted, why no one respects your kindness, why the world seems rigged against you. It's because it is. And the worst part? The system doesn't have to punish you. It just waits for you to keep playing fair until you quietly break. In the rest of the video, we won't tell you to abandon your soul, but we will show you what Machiavelli truly meant by power, and how reclaiming yours starts with one brutal decision. Stop trying to be liked. Start becoming unignorable. Now we come to it. You've spent your whole life asking, what's the right thing to do? What will make them like me? What's fair? Machiavelli asked a different question. What will keep me in control? There is no virtue in being powerless. There is no nobility in being eaten alive. There is no glory in losing with honor. Only silence. You need to understand something now, without flinching. You don't get points for playing fair in a game rigged against you. You get replaced. The jobs go to those who bend rules. The affection goes to those who don't beg for it. The world turns for those who stop asking permission. So here is your choice: brutal and clean, stay soft, stay liked, stay broken. Or become sharp, become strange, become sovereign. This doesn't mean abandoning morality. It means choosing strategy over self-sabotage. It means giving up your obsession with looking good and starting to become good at the game. Machiavelli never said to become a monster. He said to appear as you must and be as you need. If peace serves your goals, wear it. If ferocity is required, unleash it. If silence gives you power, make it deafening. But whatever you do, stop playing by rules that were never made for you. The world doesn't reward the fair. It rewards the aware. And the moment you realize that, you stop trying to survive. You start to dominate. So tell me now, not as a victim, but as a future force. Are you finally ready to stop playing fair? Because if you are, the world won't see you coming.